into concrete.
Hi guys, welcome back to another monthly reset routine. This is my April reset. If this is your first time here, basically the way this works is I break my reset down into sections. We do a reflection on my goals from last month, set new goals for the upcoming month, go over my budget from last month, including my income and expenses. And then this month, instead of the monthly favorite segment, I want to throw in something new. So we're gonna do my YouTube revenue and analytics from March, which I think will be really fun. I am filming this a week before the month is over, so just keep that in mind with everything that I'm talking about. This is not including the final week of the month, just because I need to film this in advance in order to edit it and get it out in time. I'm currently in the process of moving, which if you did not see my first episode of my moving series, definitely check that out. But the timeline of things is a little bit weird because even though I've only posted the first episode of the moving series, a lot more has happened. It's just taking me some time to get those parts edited and posted. So I am actually already starting to move. This is actually the last reset that I'll be filming in this apartment. That's slightly insane. I wanted to mention that I just recently made a Like to Know It page. So I wanted to give a quick shout out to that. If you don't know what Like to Know It is, it's basically a platform where you can put all of your favorites in one place. So if you go onto my page, which I'll obviously have linked in the description, you can see all of my favorites. I have categories for home favorites, fashion favorites, makeup favorites, a ton of the stuff that I've mentioned on this channel or that you can see even in my videos. Anytime you see an item that you're interested in, chances are it's linked down on that Like to Know It page. So feel free to check that out, even if you just kind of want to browse some cute shit. And if you have a Like to Know It account, you can follow it too. And it will be in the description of all of my videos from now on. I'll be continuously adding to it. That's that. Without further ado, let's get into the reset. I do all of my goal setting in Notion. So let's go ahead and open up my monthly goals section and go into my March monthly goals page. I love the quote that I selected for March. Start asking yourself, does this choice support the life I want? And I do feel like I've become a lot more conscious this month about making my choices intentionally and aligning them with the type of person I want to be, the type of life I want to live. I really do feel like that sort of philosophy guided my month. And then on my photo, it says your direction is more important than your speed. And I also think that I really tried to live by that this month. So the way that I split up my goals for March was a little bit different than what I had been doing in the past. I decided I wanted to split them into the same categories that I've been using for my yearly goals, because that will make sure that I'm still paying attention to all those aspects of my life. And it's a way to kind of make sure that I'm working towards my yearly goals month by month. So let's go ahead and go through these. YouTube and social goals. My main YouTube and social goal was to upload 6+ videos. Yeah, I didn't do that. I actually only am going to upload 4 videos this month, including this video, which is definitely lower than I want to upload, definitely lower than I usually upload. But I do think I was just kind of recovering from 8 uploads last month, which was a pretty intense undertaking. We'll talk about a little bit more in the YouTube analytics section of this video. Even though I only posted 3 videos so far in March, those videos have all done pretty good. I'm happy with the performance of all of them. Doesn't really matter to me, honestly, that I decreased quantity because my channel still did just as well, if not better, than when I uploaded 8 videos in a month. This was definitely a month of quality over quantity, and I'm really, really proud of all of the videos I posted this month. That's a huge win in my book. Booked 6 Pilates classes. I did. That was a kind of crazy goal for me, but I actually booked 7 workout classes this month, which is slightly insane, and I'm super proud of that. Average 4+ workouts a week. There was a point last week where I was is this goal just gonna go down the drain? But I honestly managed to pull this out. I feel like I've been hitting that 4 workout mark, which feels really good. This past weekend, I literally did 3 days in a row of workout classes, which was unprecedented. I think I had 2 Pilates classes and a hot yoga class that kicked my butt. So I think, especially considering the fact that moving's going on and things are a little crazy, I've been doing a really good job of trying to fit in those workouts, and I'm really proud of that. Personal and lifestyle goals. Finish A Court of Mist and Fury. A Court of Mist and Fury is, hold on, where is that book? So this book is the sequel to A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I really wanted to finish this book this month because one of my goals for the year is to become a reader again, and more specifically to become a fantasy reader again, to really get back in touch with that part of my personality from when I was younger that I've really lost. And this is a fantasy adult series, so I did finish this book, which I'm proud of because she is thick for sure, and I already ordered the next book of the series, so fully intending to keep going on that. On nights where I have work the next day, be in bed by 11. No. Not even close. I don't know why it's been so hard for me to try and change my sleep schedule. I think it's honestly because it's really hard to change your sleep schedule when the other people in your environment or the other people who you see regularly are not on an early sleep schedule. That's like what I really feel like I've been noticing. Journal daily with a winky face. This wasn't one of my original goals for the month. Like, it wasn't something I set in my last monthly reset. I added this in here because I really wanted to do a 30-day journaling challenge, but I just wasn't able to stick with it. I do still want to do that at some point, like challenge myself to journal every day for 30 days. Money and income goals. Be more conscious of my spending. Saving money is self-care. I do feel like I was more conscious of it. I definitely started to fall off a bit at the end of the month. I feel like I was really motivated for it towards the beginning of the month because it's like fresh slate, new month, like let's go crazy. And then when the month started progressing and I realized, eesh, like this month is going to be rough regardless because of all the moving expenses, I just feel like I lost some of the motivation to be super careful with my spending because I'm like, I'm spending a lot anyway, which is not obviously a great philosophy, but I do feel like that's kind of what happened to me. And when I set these money goals, I don't know how it escaped my mind that I would be dealing with moving during this month, which obviously makes it not the best month to try and be like a super careful spender. So I am gonna check that off because I do feel like overall I was at least more aware and more intentional about where I was putting money, even if it wasn't as low of a spending month as maybe I would want. And then contribute to my emergency fund. I actually don't know if this is gonna be possible, but I'm not gonna check it off just because I had to take from my savings this month to help pay for moving, obviously. So I don't know whether I'm gonna be able to replenish it at all by the end of this month, but I'm not gonna check it off for now because I don't think it's guaranteed, and I did have to take from that fund. So overall, it's a negative in my cushion fund this month. So March was definitely mixed results, but I'm overall pretty happy with how the month went. And I definitely prefer this goal setting structure to what I was doing before. So I definitely think I'm going to stick with this breakdown of categories. So that's it for March. And without further ado, let's get into planning April. So like I said, the main thing going on in April is going to be getting settled in my new apartment. So I think I want some of my goals, especially my personal and lifestyle goals, to be focused on starting that new apartment with good habits, cleaning, organizing, staying on my shit. I'm a big believer that fresh starts, whether that's a new month, a new year, moving to a new place, moving into a new apartment, you can say it's bullshit, but I honestly think that a fresh start is huge. Like, it's such an opportunity to set yourself up with new habits, a new game plan. It's already a time of so much change that it's a lot easier to switch up how you're living your day-to-day life in that same moment of change. Let's see how we can kind of incorporate that into my April goals, but that's kind of what I'm viewing as the focus. So knowing that, I'm already gonna set lifestyle as an area of focus for the month. YouTube and social goals. So I know that posting a lot in April is probably not happening, like, especially if I wanna stay focused on the apartment. With that in mind, I'm not gonna set an upload goal. One goal I do wanna set is to post both the second and third part of my moving series. Like I kind of mentioned earlier, I'm kind of behind on posting the parts of that series. I really ran into the trap of having a ton of videos filmed and really needing to catch up with editing and just not having enough time to edit things fast enough. Like, that really got me this month, and it kind of resulted in me posting videos a long time after filming them, and I don't love that. I already have all the footage for part 2, but I haven't even started editing it. I really want to get those 2 parts out next month because I also don't want to start posting from my new apartment before I've even revealed it to you guys. I'm gonna set a goal to make more money from AdSense than I did last month. So to make more money in April than I did in March, I feel like that is likely gonna happen. I am trying to grow my AdSense. It has been on an incline, so I'm hoping I can continue that momentum and just make more in April than I did in March, and hopefully that'll continue to climb over time. So for my health and fitness goals, I am going to be in the new apartment, which means I will no longer have my downstairs gym that I love so dearly. So I wanna set the goal to do a ClassPass free trial and just kind of experiment with different workout classes in the area. ClassPass has a great free trial, and also their service seems way more affordable than like a full unlimited membership at my Pilates studio. So I want to at least give it a shot before going all in on a Pilates membership and see if I prefer that, because there's so many workout studios in the area, plenty in walking distance, and I want to give some of them a shot. So do a ClassPass trial, try new workout studios in the area. Since I'm no longer going to have a gym downstairs, I'm just gonna set a goal to incorporate movement 4 times a week. I don't know what that's going to fully look like. It can obviously include workout classes, but also I would be fine with it being a walk or an at-home workout. Not gonna set any sort of strict guideline for what that wants to be, but I wanna make sure that I'm starting off strong in the new apartment and finding ways to keep exercising even without the convenience of a downstairs gym. My boyfriend did also just get an LA Fitness membership, so I'm able to go as a guest with him to that gym. Who knows, I might end up wanting to join LA Fitness too. I'm really just trying to figure out what membership or place is going to be my new go-to for working out. But I don't want to lose the momentum that I've been creating throughout the beginning of this year because I'm so happy with where I'm at in terms of my health and fitness journey. Personal and lifestyle goals. So I'm going to set a goal just to start the new apartment off with good habits, responsible choices, cleaning, organizing, and Ohio, do it now. Let me explain what all this means. Okay, I want to work on being more responsible, and instead of choosing the easiest or the laziest way out of a scenario, for example, procrastinating doing laundry or opting out of doing the dishes one night because I'm just tired, I really want to, whenever possible, obviously within reason. If I'm like crumbling, I'm not gonna, beat myself up, but if I'm doing okay, I really want to make the responsible choice. And even if I don't feel like it, show up for future me and show up for the version of myself that I really want to be by still making those responsible decisions. That's that. And then Ohio is an acronym I learned from, I think it was Cather Out. Basically stands for only handle it once. What this means is basically putting things away as soon as you're done with them. Instead of putting something down on the counter to be dealt with later, only handle it once. Take off your pants and put it immediately in the right spot. And do it now basically just refers to not procrastinating annoying tasks that can realistically be done now and be done quickly. Somebody is coming to pick up chairs that we sold, so I'll be back. Back on the couch is a little messier now because we no longer have the bar stools in the apartment to put our mess on. But I did get some cash money in my pocket, so that's cool. Okay, for my second personal and lifestyle goal, I'm gonna put to waste less time, and when you're working, work, and when you're relaxing, truly relax. Something I fall prey to is buying into the very false and flawed idea that if I check my phone while I'm doing work, if I take constant small breaks like that I am relaxing, that I'm getting the rest that I need. And that's just not true. It doesn't feel good to be productive and distracted. I really want to focus on creating distinction between my times that are truly for relaxation and unwinding and my times that are for productivity, and not letting those two feel so intermixed. So having more discipline in times where I'm supposed to be working or focusing on being productive, putting my phone away, setting a timer, really zeroing in on that work and letting it be a little uncomfortable, sometimes a little boring, sometimes a little frustrating, instead of immediately pacifying those emotions that come up with my phone with some sort of distraction. Letting myself really be in the work, and if those emotions do come up, just letting them exist. Doing work can sometimes feel boring. Sometimes you don't want to do it, but it's a necessary part of making money, of working towards goals. So I really want to just be more comfortable in some of those less pleasant tasks and still stay focused on them rather than constantly being in this half relaxed, half working state. And that will allow me to be a lot more efficient and therefore actually be able to have time to set aside for purposeful relaxation, for watching a movie, for reading a book, for doing things that are a little more enriching than just doom scrolling on a phone. Because stretching out my work by constantly being distracted or constantly being on my phone ultimately just leaves less time in the day for the things that I want to do and I want to spend time on. And I think recently I've really been realizing that a big way that I can counteract the feeling of, oh, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough time to work on YouTube, I don't have enough time to clean the apartment, is genuinely cutting out a lot of that time wasting that I do. All of the checking on my phone that I do and get nothing from. I'm craving something more. I'm craving to be more focused on my own life and to be more present in it and to be just less distracted. So last but not least, let's go ahead and set my money and income goals. So I don't really know what I want to set this month in terms of money. I think I'm going to go ahead and set the goal to pack lunch for the office more. It doesn't directly seem like a money goal, but I do spend quite a bit of money on just like buying lunch at the office. So I think that's a easy way that I can cut down on my expenses. It literally takes a couple extra minutes to pack a lunch in the morning. And I'm gonna put on that to also bring in coffee, because on days where I bring in my own drink and I pack a lunch, I'm way less likely to spend money while I'm at work. And it just doesn't make sense and feel good in my brain to literally be spending money at the place where I'm meant to be earning money. I don't love it. I don't love giving money back to the company that's paying me. You know, it doesn't gel right with me. So that's, I think, a good, simple money goal for me to set. Okay, hi, it's the next day and we're gonna continue filming this video. I just got my hair cut. I'm obsessed with it. It's quite a bit shorter, as you can tell. I think it's so cute. It was long overdue. Anyway, I completely forgot yesterday. I thought I had finished the goal setting portion of this video, but I completely forgot to switch out the photo and quote for April. So we're gonna go ahead and do that right now. So I want to have a photo that's just kind of representative of good habits. So let's go ahead and go onto Pinterest and search for something. Ooh, okay. So I'm gonna go with this one because I'm kind of in a phase of being fascinated with discipline, and like I mentioned, just really want to establish good, healthy habits, not taking the easy way out, not taking the lazy way out, and just like doing the responsible thing. So I'm gonna go with this quote that says, "Stay consistent and do the work. Your next level is waiting for you." And then for the quote, I'm just gonna put the quote that I had on my wall that I showed in the intro of this video, which is, "Discipline is self-care." I wrote that yesterday on a piece of paper and just taped it to my wall because I want it to be a reminder that we view discipline often as this self-punishing, sometimes extreme thing, but like I'm really trying to reclaim discipline as a way for me to show up for myself and do things that, while they might be unpleasant in the moment or they might require a bit more energy or effort in the moment, are ultimately bringing me closer to where I want to be, benefiting the future version of myself, and just helping me to reach my like dream reality and the dream version of myself. It's looking a little overly neutral. Hopefully we can get some color and like a fun image in here next month. But now let's go ahead and move into the budgeting portion of this video, which it definitely looks a little different this month. Let's just go ahead and dive into it and I'll show you guys how the move has been affecting my finances so far. So yeah, okay, let's do it. Okay, so let's talk about budget. So this month is weird in terms of budgeting. I ended up taking money from my cushion fund to use for moving, which was absolutely something that I was planning on doing and a very intentional choice. I knew when I was building up this cushion fund that it would likely be drained when I did move, but that's what it's there for. It's there for those kind of rare occurrences, those extra expenses. So I have no bad feelings about having to move money from that cushion fund, but it did just kind of create a little bit more of a chaotic month. So we're gonna get into all of that. I always forget to say this and I always get questions about it in the comments in my resets. Can you show us how you made this budget template? Where is it from? This is just a Google Sheets template. I bought it off of Etsy and I will have the link in the description. I don't use Notion for budgeting. I used to. I just found it to be a little tricky and maybe it would have been better if I had found a template or something, but this to me is just really easy, really user-friendly, and I didn't feel like making one of these myself, so it was not expensive. It was probably like $5 and I'll have it linked in the description. So first of all, let's talk about my income summary. So I have my usual income streams on here. I have obviously 2 paychecks. Both were slightly higher than my expected, but not crazy higher. I didn't really do much overtime this month. So then we have Poshmark, which is something I earn money from every single month. Basically, it's an app where you resell your clothes. It's really nice. I typically earn from like $50 to $100. If you guys ever want to check out my Poshmark, it's always linked in the description of my videos. I've really started appreciating lately how nice it is to have that like consistent extra income. It's a very consistent income source for me. Like literally every month I get paid out from it. And it's really nice that there's not like a payout minimum or anything. So then we have Facebook Marketplace. So we've been selling some of the items in our current apartment since we're moving from a studio to I almost spoiled some things. Since we're moving from a studio to a larger apartment, a lot of the furniture that we have in here just isn't really practical for the next space. So So we sold an old laptop of mine and the bar stools, and I made $450 from those sales, which is really nice and absolutely going to help with the apartment expenses. Then we have my savings transfer. So this isn't really income. This is just money that I moved over from my cushion fund to my spending account for moving expenses. I have not used all of this money yet, which we'll see when we get into the spending, and anything that I don't use, I obviously will just move back into my savings. One of the kind of annoying things about how our moving dates worked out is that there's quite a bit of overlap between our new apartment and the current apartment, which we kind of tried to make some overlap to help with moving, but we made way more overlap than we wanted to, meaning that we're paying both rents for a couple weeks, which is obviously expensive, right? So I'm kind of just keeping all this money in my checking for now because I don't know how much of it I'm gonna need. Like, I have another rent payment coming up obviously at the beginning of the month. I just need to be prepared. So bills, so obviously we have my usuals. So rent ended up only being $13.90 this month, which is nice. That's lower than what I had budgeted. Then I have my various memberships. So I have an Epidemic Sound membership, an AMC membership, a TubeBuddy membership. Epidemic and TubeBuddy are two services that I use for YouTube. And then AMC is just, I have AMC A-List so I can like go for free movies. And then I had to pay a deposit for the new apartment, which was $1,900, which was, it was a little steep. Now let's get into the expenses. I didn't spend any money on gas this month because my boyfriend's been borrowing my car a lot, so he filled up my gas and it just kind of worked out that he owed me for something. So laundry was right on budget, vocal lessons always the same. Variable expenses, I talked about how last month my variable expenses were off the charts and I wanted to set a budget goal of 800. Before I did not have a number there at all and I was just kind of raw dogging my budget. Interesting, okay, Brielle. But I wanted to set a goal amount of 800, which I knew was gonna be a little bit of a challenge. And I did go over it. I'm over $1,000 and the month is not yet over. However, I do feel like this is going to turn out lower than last month. So at least that's some progress. And I still wanna keep striving to move closer and closer to that 800 mark. Maybe it's more realistic for me to set that at 1,000. We'll see how we're feeling after next month. And then moving expenses, I honestly didn't even know what to put for the budgeted amount here. But so far, I've spent about $727. This is for furniture, decor, like Amazon orders, just like things that we've needed. That's obviously not including like the deposit we had to pay or anything like that. Okay, so let's get into the expense tracker. So I really was trying to be more mindful with my spending this month, but I don't feel like you can really tell. So I bought supplements. No regrets about that. I have zero guilt about spending on health and fitness related things. I think that is 100% something worth spending money on. Coffee, bubble tea, surprise, surprise, hair product, Ubers, Starbucks, Pilates, laundry, Whole Foods, coffee, breakfast, makeup, movie snacks. We went to the movies this month. A lot of coffee and Amazon. Barnes & Noble, I bought a book this month. And then here starts some of the apartment expenses. So, you know, decor, furniture, apartment items. There's a lot of very predictable expenses in here. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff for the apartment. There's lots of coffee because that's something I spend money on a lot. And then just the usual suspects, you know, like Pilates classes, Ubers, nothing crazy in here. Nothing that I'm like, ooh, that was a stupid purchase. I really regret that. Though I will say towards the end of the month, and this is surprising, I really started experiencing a lot of coffee shop guilt. And I do think it's because I was aware that I was going over my budget and not throwing money away, but I felt like my return on investment, my reward started deteriorating from going to coffee shops. I just felt like I wasn't getting as much value from them this month as I normally feel that I do. So I think I might just kind of naturally start cutting back on that. I'm gonna let myself go with this feeling and use it as an opportunity to cut back my spending. I don't want to force that cutback. I know that that doesn't work for me. So if I'm naturally kind of feeling the desire to save money on these things, I'm gonna roll with it. I definitely think part of it was the fact that I was just more thinking about my spending this month, and during the month I did some expense check-ins where I inputted some of my expenses, and I do think that made me just way more conscious and aware of like, okay, how am I doing on my budget so far this month? Just kept me more accountable and more aware of what I was spending on. It looks like I have $1,600 left over, but that's just because I moved money over from my savings savings. So it is nice that I still have money left to use for the rest of the move and all of that. But even though it was a goal of mine to move money into my cushion fund, I'm just not gonna do that because again, I know I have a rent payment coming up. That's what my budget looked like this month. I fully expect next month to also be a little bit chaotic because again, we're continuing with the move and we're definitely gonna still be buying more stuff. And without further ado, let's get into the last portion of this video, which is my YouTube analytics and revenue. Okay, let's talk about my YouTube analytics and revenue. I did a poll asking you guys on my community tab what new segment you wanted me to do in this monthly reset, and I'm so glad that so many of you were interested to see my analytics and revenue because I'm excited to talk about it. I think this stuff is so interesting. Now, back at the end of 2022, I was making about $30 a month from AdSense, and that has definitely dropped down since then. If you saw my first YouTube paycheck video, that was like kind of what I was averaging, but at the beginning of 2023, my RPM took a hit. My RPM is basically how much I get paid per 1,000 views. This is like very normal. Usually at the beginning of the year, everyone's RPM goes down, so everyone's earnings also tend to go down, and my views have been a little bit lower also since the beginning of the year. So with that being said, March definitely felt like a light at the end of the tunnel kind of month in the sense that my earnings are starting to go back up a little bit more, and I also just feel like my videos have been doing better this month, which we'll talk about how many views I got on the videos I posted. So let's take a look at my analytics. For the month of March so far, again, keeping in mind that there is still a whole week left of March, so this is not a full picture of the month. So far, I've gotten 3,300 views. I've gained 35 subscribers. So I only posted 3 videos so far this month, as I mentioned earlier, but every single one of those videos did better than like my average video performance, which is really cool to see. I would say an average video on my channel gets around 150 views, and every single video that I've posted so far this month has done better than that. So let's talk about those 3 videos that I did post. The first video was my apartment hunting in LA video, which is the first part of my moving in LA series that I'm starting. Did kind of average when I first posted it, but it kind of started picking up like a week after it was uploaded, and it's still performing and getting views, but that video has gained 728 views so far. The next video that I posted was I learned to sing from scratch with no experience. I'm really proud of that video. I was like definitely nervous to post it, but I got some really sweet comments on it and I am really proud. It was cool to see the video kind of get received with open arms. That video has gotten 352 views so far. And then the last video that I posted was my 9-to-5 work from home routine. That video's only been up for about a week, but it has gained 260 views so far. Let's go ahead and take a look at my revenue numbers. So my total estimated revenue for March so far has been $12.55. My lowest earning day, I made 14 cents, and in my highest earning day, I made $1.15. Definitely the beginning of the month was a little rough. I'll put a graph on the screen, but as you can see, like the beginning of the month, I was not really getting much revenue, and that's because I took a bit of time off of uploading. I think I took like a solid week off of uploading, so obviously I was not generating much revenue during that time. My channel isn't really established enough for me to be pulling in a ton of views when I'm not posting. Okay, my 3 top earning videos of the month. My highest earning video of this month is the apartment hunting in LA video. That has earned me $3.82 so far. And then my second top earning video was I tried Bumble BFF so you don't have to, which has earned me $3.08. That is a long-term performer on my channel. I talked about in my first YouTube paycheck video, which if you enjoy this analytics stuff, definitely check out that video because I talk more about it. But that I tried Bumble BFF video has literally been going off for me for freaking ever and continues to make me money. I think it's made me over $30 at this point. Then my third performing video was my I learned to sing from scratch with no experience video, which pulled in $1.17. I hope that was a little interesting to you guys. I love talking about analytics, so if you guys did like this portion of the monthly reset and you want me to keep it around, I could totally see myself having one of these every few months. So I guess that's it for the reset. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining me for it. Definitely make sure to give the video a like because that helps out my channel. Subscribe if you haven't have not yet subscribed. If this is your first time here, hi, I would love for you to stick around. I post a new reset every single month, and I also post lots of content around post-grad lifestyle, productivity, self-improvement. So if any of that interests you, which it probably does if you're a monthly reset girl, definitely subscribe. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Yeah, his baby said that they don't got a future like it burns. So give him something worse to kill his head with, make him forget somehow.